Greetings, my fellow adventurers. It's Elara. Welcome back to our cozy sanctuary, where the flickering firelight and the scent of aged parchment fill the air, and the enchanting tales of wizards and heroes come alive. Tonight, we journey into the magical halls of Hogwarts and beyond, where the courage of young wizards, the legacy of powerful families, and the clash between light and darkness shape destinies that echo through the ages. So, find your most comfortable spot. Let the crackle of the hearth, the rustle of ancient spellbooks, and the whispered secrets of hidden chambers stir your imagination, and allow yourself to be swept away into these gripping stories of magic, bravery, and the challenges that forge legends. Let me know in the comments where you're from and what time it currently is. Let's begin. The Wandering Legacy. The Great Hall of Hogwarts buzzed with the chatter of excited students. It was the beginning of Albus Severus Potter's 5th year, and the Sorting Hat's opening song had barely faded from memory. Albus sat at the Slytherin table, his green and silver tie slightly loosened, his dark hair as untidy as ever. Though he bore the name of 2 legendary figures, he often felt like a shadow in the glow of his family's history. This year, however, was different. The whispers of adventure and danger that always seemed to surround his father had begun to seep into Albus's life. It started with a letter. During his first night back, Albus unpacked his belongings in the quiet dormitory. Among the neatly folded robes and spellbooks was a letter tied with emerald green string. The handwriting was old but firm, and it read, "Albus Severus Potter, the legacy of the past calls to you. Follow the path, and you may uncover a truth long forgotten. Begin at the tapestry of the founders." Albus's brow furrowed. He didn't recognize the handwriting, nor did the letter bear a signature. Still, something about it intrigued him. He felt the urge to follow its instructions, even though he knew it could lead to trouble. Later that evening, he slipped out of the Slytherin common room, making his way to the tapestry that hung on the 3rd floor. The woven depiction of the 4 founders glowed faintly in the moonlight. As Albus touched it, the threads began to shift, revealing a hidden compartment behind the fabric. Inside was a piece of parchment, old and brittle, but alive with enchantment. A map. Unlike the Marauder's map, this one depicted the hidden tunnels and forgotten chambers beneath Hogwarts, places Albus had never heard of before. Albus confided in his best friend, Scorpius Malfoy. Scorpius, a Ravenclaw with an insatiable curiosity, was thrilled by the discovery. "This could lead us to something extraordinary," Scorpius said, his gray eyes gleaming with excitement. "Think about it. There's no way this map was left for just anyone." The map indicated an entrance beneath the Black Lake, a place rarely explored due to its dangerous waters and protective spells. Albus and Scorpius prepared a plan, gathering enchanted diving cloaks and spells for breathing underwater. The journey beneath the lake was both beautiful and eerie. Glowing fish darted past, and the skeletal remains of long-forgotten creatures rested on the lake bed. As they swam deeper, the map revealed a hidden door etched into the rocky wall. With a whispered spell, the door creaked open, revealing a narrow tunnel that led into the unknown. The tunnel eventually opened into a massive chamber filled with ancient statues of the four founders. At the center of the room stood a pedestal holding a strange object, a wand that seemed to pulse with its own light. Its wood was dark, and its core radiated a faint green glow. Scorpius approached it cautiously. "It's beautiful, but it feels wrong." Albus stepped closer, and as he did, voices began to echo in the chamber. Whispers filled the air, voices of the past, warnings, threats, and fragments of memories. "This wand," Albus said, his voice trembling. "It's connected to the founders. But why is it here?" Before they could answer, the chamber began to shake. The statues' eyes glowed, and from their bases emerged shadowy figures, guardians created to protect the wand. The room filled with a chilling wind as the guardians advanced, their forms shifting like smoke. Albus and Scorpius drew their wands. "Protego," Albus shouted, creating a shimmering shield. The spell held, but the shadows were relentless. Scorpius fumbled with the map, searching for an escape. "There's something about this wand. It's tied to the shadows. Maybe we need to use it to stop them." With no other option, Albus reached for the wand. As soon as his fingers wrapped around it, the shadows froze. The whispers grew louder, resolving into a single voice. "The legacy of the founders is yours to protect, but with great power comes a choice. Will you honor their wisdom or succumb to their ambition?" The shadows dissipated, leaving the chamber eerily silent. The wand in Albus's hand felt alive, its magic coursing through him. He realized it wasn't just any wand. It was the Founder's wand, a relic imbued with the combined magic of Godric Gryffindor, Salazar Slytherin, Helga Hufflepuff, and Rowena Ravenclaw. Albus and Scorpius returned to Hogwarts, the wand safely hidden. They researched its origins, learning that it had been created as a tool to unify the school during its founding, but was hidden away when discord grew between the founders. The wand's magic was powerful, but dangerous, capable of amplifying the intentions, good or evil, of its wielder. Albus felt the weight of the responsibility. For so long, he had struggled with the expectations of being Harry Potter's son, but now he held a legacy of his own. He decided to keep the wand's existence a secret, knowing that its power could be both a blessing and a curse. As the weeks passed, Albus and Scorpius continued their studies, using their newfound knowledge to protect Hogwarts from hidden threats. The map remained with them, a guide to the secrets of the castle, and the Founder's wand became a symbol of Albus's promise to honor both the past and the future. For the first time, Albus felt like he wasn't living in his father's shadow. He was carving out his own path, one adventure at a time. The Alchemist's puzzle. The castle was quiet that evening, the kind of quiet that makes the air feel heavy with secrets. Albus Severus Potter, now in his 6th year at Hogwarts, sat in the library, poring over a dusty book he'd found hidden in a forgotten corner of the restricted section. The book was titled The Secrets of Nicholas Flamel, and it spoke of an ancient alchemical challenge left behind by the legendary alchemist himself. According to the text, Flamel had created a series of magical puzzles that only the most brilliant and resourceful witches or wizards could solve. Solving the puzzles was said to unlock a great treasure, one that could reshape the wizarding world. While reading late into the night, Albus found an inscription in the book that no spell could reveal, until he tried a simple incantation he'd learned in his first year. The words glowed faintly, and a hidden riddle appeared. To begin the journey, seek the place where the sun sets upon knowledge. It wasn't long before Albus realized it referred to the astronomy tower, where the last rays of the sun often painted the castle walls golden. That evening, he ventured to the tower alone, scanning the room until he noticed something odd. A single book perched on a dusty shelf, out of place among the instruments and star charts. The book wouldn't open until Albus spoke the words inscribed on its spine. When he did, a shimmering key appeared in his hand, along with another riddle. The path forward lies where fire and water intertwine. Excited, but wary, Albus decided to bring his best friend, Scorpius Malfoy, into the adventure. Together, they deduced the next location, the prefect's bathroom, where enchanted water and the magical warmth of the bath converged. In the prefect's bathroom, the enchanted water glowed faintly when Albus dipped the key into it. A portal shimmered into existence on the marble wall. Scorpius hesitated. "Are you sure about this? Flamel wasn't exactly known for leaving behind harmless puzzles." "I didn't drag you into this to turn back now," Albus replied with a grin. "Besides, don't you want to see what's on the other side?" With a sigh, Scorpius followed Albus through the portal. They emerged in a massive underground cavern, illuminated by floating crystals. At the center of the cavern was a pedestal holding a small, golden sphere, which emitted a faint hum. But as they approached, the room began to shift. The floor cracked, and 3 elemental guardians, one of fire, one of water, and one of stone, rose from the ground. A deep voice echoed through the chamber. "To claim the treasure, prove your mastery over the elements." What followed was a frantic battle of wits and magic. Albus and Scorpius combined their spells to outsmart the guardians, rather than overpower them. Albus used a glacious charm to freeze the fire guardian, while Scorpius manipulated the water guardian with a cleverly cast Levioso spell, forcing it to collide with the stone guardian. When the last guardian fell, the golden sphere floated toward them. It opened to reveal a smaller silver key and another message. The final puzzle lies where magic is born and stories are told. The pair deduced that the riddle referred to the Room of Requirement, a place known for its ever-changing nature and deep connection to Hogwarts' magic. Returning to the castle, they found the room and entered, only to discover it had transformed into a replica of Flamel's laboratory. The room was filled with bubbling cauldrons, swirling potions, and glowing runes. At the center was a large alchemical circle etched into the floor, with spaces for 3 keys, the 2 they already possessed, and 1 more. As they examined the room, a ghostly figure appeared. Nicholas Flamel himself, or rather, an enchanted echo of him. The figure explained that they had reached the final trial. The last key would only reveal itself if they could solve a complex alchemical equation using the tools in the laboratory. The equation wasn't just numbers and symbols. It required them to balance magical elements, brew potions, and combine spells. Time was against them, as the room began to crumble the longer they took. "Concentrate on the base element," Albus muttered, sweat beading on his forehead as he stirred a cauldron. "It's always gold with Flamel. Philosophical gold." Scorpius, meanwhile, carefully etched runes around the alchemical circle, ensuring the flow of magic was stable. As the final piece of the puzzle clicked into place, the third key materialized, and the room stabilized. The three keys came together, forming a radiant light that revealed a hidden compartment. Inside was not a treasure, but a single, ancient book with Flamel's personal notes on alchemy and magic. The last page bore a single line: "True power lies not in the treasure, but in the wisdom to use it." Albus and Scorpius left the room of requirement, feeling both exhilarated and humbled. The journey had tested their friendship, their wits, and their courage. The book they had discovered was a treasure in its own right, filled with secrets that could change the way wizards understood magic. As they returned to their dormitories, Albus reflected on the adventure. For so long, he had struggled with living up to his family's legacy. But now, he realized that his worth wasn't tied to his name. It was tied to the choices he made and the knowledge he gained. The story of Albus Severus Potter wasn't about following in anyone's footsteps. It was about carving his own path, one mystery at a time. The Battle of the Black Phoenix. The air over the Forbidden Forest crackled with energy as dark clouds swirled ominously above. Albus Severus Potter, now in his 7th year at Hogwarts, stood amidst the chaos, his wand tightly gripped in his hand. His robes were torn, his face streaked with dirt and blood, but his green eyes burned with determination. The threat had come out of nowhere. A dark wizard, known only as Darach Vaith, had risen from obscurity, rallying a group of fanatical followers who sought to bring chaos to the wizarding world. Rumors whispered of an ancient artifact called the Black Phoenix Staff, said to grant unimaginable power to its wielder. And now, Darach Vaith was after it, hidden in the depths of the Forbidden Forest, a secret known only to Hogwarts' most ancient wards. It began with a frantic warning. Professor McGonagall had summoned the 7th-year students to the Great Hall, late at night, her stern demeanor betraying a rare hint of fear. "Listen carefully," she began, her voice firm. "A dark force has breached the Forbidden Forest. We've contained it for now, but Darach Vaith seeks something hidden within the forest, something he must not find. This is not just a threat to Hogwarts, but to the entire wizarding world." Albus exchanged a glance with Scorpius Malfoy and their friend Rose Weasley. The trio had faced their share of danger over the years, but this was different. This wasn't a hidden puzzle or a secret artifact to uncover. This was a war. When volunteers were called to help defend the castle and forest, Albus was the first to step forward. The group of students, joined by several professors and aurors, entered the forbidden forest at dawn. The once familiar woods felt foreign, hostile. Shadows seemed to move on their own, and the air was thick with an unnatural chill. "We need to stop him before he finds the Black Phoenix staff," said Professor Flitwick, leading the group. "The wards around its resting place are weakening. If he breaks through, the consequences will be catastrophic." As they pushed deeper into the forest, they encountered Darach Vaith's followers. Cloaked in dark robes and wielding twisted wands, they attacked with brutal efficiency. "Protego!" Albus shouted, deflecting a curse aimed at Rose. She returned fire with a well-placed stupefy, knocking the attacker unconscious. Scorpius, who had taken a defensive position, called out, "Albus, behind you!" Albus spun just in time to parry a green jet of light. A killing curse. His heart raced as he countered with a disarming spell, knocking the wand from his opponent's hand. The battle raged as the group fought their way through the forest. Albus's mind raced with the lessons he'd learned at Hogwarts. Spells flowed from his wand as he dueled one attacker after another. He wasn't the unsure boy who had arrived at Hogwarts all those years ago. He was a warrior now. By the time they reached the heart of the forest, the group had suffered heavy losses. Only a few students and professors remained, battered but resolute. Before them stood a massive stone archway, covered in glowing runes. Beyond it lay a clearing where the Black Phoenix staff was buried. Darach Vaith was there, surrounded by a swirling vortex of dark energy. His face was obscured beneath a hood, but his voice carried power. "You are too late," he snarled. "The staff is mine, and with it, I will reshape this world in my image." Albus stepped forward, his wand raised. "You won't get the chance." Darach Vaith laughed, a cold, menacing sound. "A Potter standing in my way? How poetic. Do you think your father's name will protect you here?" The air grew heavy as Darach Vaith raised his hands, summoning a wave of fire that surged toward Albus and his companions. "Protego Maxima!" Albus shouted, creating a shimmering shield that absorbed the flames. The duel began in earnest. Darach Vaith's magic was overwhelming, his spells filled with raw power. Albus fought back with everything he had, casting spell after spell. But Vaith seemed to anticipate his every move. "Expelliarmus!" Albus shouted, but Darach Vaith deflected it effortlessly. "You're nothing but a shadow of your father," the dark wizard sneered. "And shadows fade." The tide turned when Albus noticed something, a faint glow beneath the ground, where Darach Vaith stood. The Black Phoenix staff was reacting to the duel, its power growing stronger. "Rose! Scorpius!" Albus yelled. "The staff! We have to stop him from reaching it!" The three worked together, Scorpius creating barriers while Rose cast offensive spells to keep Darach Vaith distracted. But the dark wizard was relentless, pushing them back with waves of energy. Then Albus remembered something his father had once told him. The best magic comes from within. Not just your wand, but your heart. With a burst of determination, Albus charged forward. ignoring the pain from a curse that grazed his shoulder. He dove toward the glowing ground, his hand reaching for the staff before Vaith could claim it. As his fingers closed around the staff, a surge of power coursed through him. The energy was overwhelming, but Albus held on, focusing on the light within him. The staff's magic responded, its dark energy shifting into a blinding white flame. "No!" Vaith screamed, lunging for the staff. But Albus, now glowing with the staff's energy, turned and unleashed a powerful spell. The light engulfed Vaith, shattering his vortex of dark magic. The clearing fell silent as the dark wizard collapsed, his power broken. Albus released the staff, letting it sink back into the ground. The glowing runes around the archway sealed once more. Back at Hogwarts, the survivors gathered in the Great Hall. The scars of battle were fresh, but there was a sense of triumph in the air. Albus sat with Scorpius and Rose, his body aching, but his spirit strong. "You were brilliant out there," Rose said, clapping him on the shoulder. Scorpius smirked. "I mean, I helped too. But yeah, you were brilliant." For the first time, Albus felt like he wasn't just living in his father's shadow. He had forged his own legacy, not through his name, but through his courage and strength. As the stars glittered outside the castle, Albus knew that this was just the beginning. There would always be challenges ahead, but he was ready to face them, because he wasn't just a Potter. He was Albus Severus Potter, a name that would stand on its own. As the tale of courage, discovery, and the echoes of ancient magic comes to a close, let the journey of Albus Severus Potter remind us of the delicate balance between legacy and choice. Remember, my fellow adventurers, that even in the most daunting of challenges, the strength of friendship and the will to carve your own path can light the way. Thank you for joining me tonight. Until next time, may your dreams be filled with the glow of enchanted spells, the whispers of forgotten secrets, and the promise of new adventures that await. Good night.